Hi, Dennis. Here, talking about why, when you do a scanf with a character, sometimes it appears not to work. So the purpose of this program is to show why the scanf reading character input may not work at times. So here's my standard program, nothing new here, just a header. But right here, this is new. It's called a user-defined function. I named it myFlush. This is an alias to myFlush called capital Flush. What this guy here does is it reads from the keyboard memory one character at a time until it sees the carriage return or the new line. I'm going to demonstrate this by reading in a integer and reading in a character value. So I have four printf scanfs. First one is enter a character from the keyboard. I read it. The second one is enter an integer. I read it. The third one is another integer. I read it. And the fourth one, which is the problem, I'm going to read in a character from the keyboard and the scanf is going to be skipped. Let's demonstrate that. So here's the code running. It says enter any character from the keyboard. So I enter D. You just entered the character D. Enter any number. You just entered 55. Here's the third printf scanf. Enter any number. It's going to say you just entered 44, and then watch what happens. This fourth printf and scanf gets skipped over, and instead of me being able to type right here, it says you just entered a character, so it gets skipped over, and that's the end of that program. So my problem is this part of the code never fired. It actually did, but let me explain what actually happened. The problem is when you enter a numeric value, you actually hit two keys. You hit a number key followed by enter. Well, the scanf reading in an integer reads the number from the keyboard RAM. The enter that you press remains in RAM. So an integer input only reads the number, leaving this press enter in the RAM. So when a scanf reading in a character is next, the character is read from the keyboard RAM, and this will be that enter that was left over from that numeric input. It appears that the scan over was skipped, but it actually wasn't. The enter got consumed. There is a solution, and that is to flush out the keyboard RAM after each scan. The myFlush function that I described earlier does exactly this. It keeps reading from RAM until it reads that enter from RAM, which is represented by this \n. So here's the solution. The solution would be, let me get rid of this so it shortens my code. So the solution is going to be to do this, and then this video will be over, is after each time I scan, I will flush the keyboard memory. And this is not necessary when all my input is of type numeric, but when I'm mixing numeric and character input, I will do a flush after each scan. Notice I like to put that on the same line because it kind of is one thing. Watch it run now. So when it runs, here's that first character, no problem. Here's the integer, no problem. Here's that third integer. Now watch, this time the fourth is going to pause for me. Because that enter I just pressed got consumed, it allows me to enter a character from the keyboard. I type anything I want, and the program ends. Okay, that's rather quick, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to end it here. That is resolving the enter hidden inside the keyboard RAM. And just so you know, this is only in the language C because it's a lower level language, and I'm able to control pretty much everything, including what's in the keyboard buffer. Good luck.